everybody, we're back for another video, and this video is the January no spend, low spend results. And you can see there's actually not quite a lot of stuff on the table. These are the actual things and something else that I've purchased this month, and we're going to talk about that. One thing that's a little bit different is this month of January, what I decided to do was to track all of this information in my monthly calendar. This is the monthly planner that was my Peaky Dory Designs one that we were making, but I have since closed my shop. Well, it's not closed, but it's on a sort of a long-term hiatus. But what I wanted is I wanted my design, but I wanted it with paper and cats, with her, with a little bit of her design flair with my format. So back in August of last year, I sent her some ideas that I wanted for a passport calendar and then for a standard calendar, and it was 2 pages of grid a month, 2 pages of grid a month, 2 pages of grid a month, and then what I wanted was 6 pages of grid at the end. So here's December, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think now, if you purchase the download or get it, you don't get 6 from her. You get only 2 or 4. I wanted the 6 for extra notes, for plans, for year in review, for stuff like that, which I use it for. And because of my videos that I've been doing on YouTube, she's gotten so many requests for it, she now makes it in every single size. And I just saw a video, I guess, was it yesterday, that Carrie Harling is using this insert that I prompted Taylor to make, and then she's using the Ink Imperfections monthly tracking chart in it. So I love to see those 2 things, or 3 things, Taylor at Paper and Cats, Ink Imperfections, and mine designs mushed together, because if we all 3 have something that Carrie's using, that makes me happy. So I have been trying to track all of this in one planner. Last year, I had a pocket insert and a traveler's notebook, actually my Fern Chic Sparrow that I was using to house that information. And then I put it in a standard size, and then I had all of this stuff in my calendar, but then all of it in another planner, and I decided, instead of doubling or tripling that information, just put it in one place. And so that is in my Tokyo Station Midori Traveler's Notebook, which I love. And I'm so glad I'm using. I'm glad it's getting bumped up and used, because the brown leather looks so wonderful when it's worn in and used. So you can see there isn't a lot of stuff here, and that's a good thing. But you see there's a large item here. So let's just go over everything. And I even took some notes in my YouTube planner here. So the first thing that I bought on the first day of the year was this Filofax. It is the Filofax Ochre Malden. It is in the A5 size. You can see it is the large one. It's got the 2 pen loops. You notice it matches my pocket and my personal. I dabbled in rings in December and part of January, and I love the rings, for their flexibility that you have, but it's just such a lot to carry. And having it be in my backpack with my flute and a piccolo and music and books and other things, I was so afraid that the rings were going to get damaged that I decided to switch back to my traveler's notebooks. This is the height of an A5, but it's just a little bit narrower. Hence, I call it an A5 narrow. Anyways, or the standard Midori size. Some people, Chic Sparrow calls it a narrow, Foxy Fix calls it a number 6. Lady Falcon Traveler, she calls it like a TN regular or a TN standard. They're all, this is what they're talking about. So I did purchase this secondhand. I didn't buy it new, and she sent it with some really lovely papers and some tabs, and this is the original paper that came with it. So I decided not to use it, but I'm not going to part with it because it is the Filofax Ochre Malden, and this is my favorite Filofax leather. Sorry, Kitty has gotten some catnip tonight, and so she's a little happy. We'll pause. I hope you enjoyed that little video of Lila playing. She was trying to be all cute. So the Filofax A5 Ochre Malden, that came to $70 as it was used, and it looks like it's in perfect condition. So there was that. Then the next thing that came, that was ordered, was my last box from the Cloth and Paper Penspiration box. And you saw the unboxing of that here. It came with two pens, a mechanical pencil, lead refill, a highlighter, and then an eraser with a refill. And that was $18. Oh, and it came in this, I don't know what you would call it. I don't know what the color is. Caramel, Earl Grey brown, I don't know. Ochre Malden brown. So that was $18. Then the next thing that came in the month of January was my Mindy Lacefield Patreon, and that was $20. So you'll notice the first three things happened on the first of the month because of Impulse, my last of the subscriptions, and then my Patreon. And I love Mindy Lacefield's Patreon because it is so, it's really wonderful for me. She does artwork, and of course she sells, wonderful things on her Etsy store, but I've taken many of her online classes, and I even helped teach one lesson of one of her online classes. But her artwork is a great thing for me because it helps me to get out of my head. And a couple of months ago, one of her, it's in here in my bullet journal, which I haven't been using. This was a digital printout, and I colored it. So it gave me something fun to do. So I'll link Mindy down below for sure. So that was $20. And then the next day I bought something was the 7th. And I bought this pack of, they're called Bible Safe highlighters. They are a highlighter. I don't think I've shown these on a video at all. This pack that I got came in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different colors. And I'll just grab the blue and the yellow so you can see. What they are is they're kind of like a wax crayon-ish, but it looks like a highlighter. Now for the first little bit, it will feel kind of waxy like a crayon, and it can smudge, but over time, meaning like 24 hours, it will. I just realized I did that in my monthly calendar. One of my year-end review pages is going to have a pretty little yellow and blue swatch. Now, one thing I've never tried is I haven't tried if you could. Ooh, are they a new art supply? Kind of. But they come in, a variety of different colors. I got all these colors because I was thinking maybe I'll color code, but so far all I've used is this pretty green, and I used it to track my bills. I know I don't need it, but I like it. It looks pretty. Oh, and actually I used the yellow to fill in my tracker. So I got these from Amazon, and they came to $7.59. But if you have a Books A Million store or something like that, you can get like maybe a 2-pack or a 4-pack. I just went with this because it was all of them. Amazon Prime, free 1 or 2 day shipping, and it was here. And then the last thing I got was a little watercolor palette. And I know you're thinking, but John, you have like 2 other Prima watercolor palettes. You have all 3 Jane Davenports. You have the, is it the 12 set or the 24 set of the Gansai Tambi watercolors. You have from Kuretake. You have the St. Petersburg Biele Noci from Nevskaya Palitra. The Russian watercolors. You've got like 48 or whatever of those, and 1 or 2 little Daniels as well. I didn't have any watercolors like these. This is, as you can see, the Vintage Pastels. And they are just beautiful colors. And I know you're thinking, well, can't you just get those colors by using less pigment or adding white to something, like a white titanium or titanium white? Yes, you can. But this is just so much easier. If I want that apple blossomy, cherry blossom pink, I just have to do that. I don't have to mix it. So that's one reason why I got these. And also, Mindy on Patreon did a video using these and the Decadent Pies, and I have the Decadent Pies, and so I want to try to blend the colors the way she did, and then create some of my own. So, yeah. So I did that. Oh, and actually, if you want to see what these look like, I didn't do an unboxing of them. They're just watercolors. People don't come to my channel for watercolor videos. They're back here. And this is on cream colored MD Midori paper. They are so beautiful. And I laid them down really thick. But I love the periwinkle. It's so pretty. So those came to $23.52. And so you can see my total for the month was $138.11. So that, yes, is not a no spend, and yes, that is not a low spend, but we have some new guidelines, not guidelines, but just some new things that I'm going to think about this year. I even wrote some notes down, and one thing that I did in here when I was the one thing that I did do some of in my bullet journal was during the month, because my word for the year is balance, is I took notes about the no spend, low spend. And I didn't journal every day, but I journaled quite a bit. And then I journaled on the days I purchased things, like there was the 7th, 14th was the day before I purchased something. But I journaled and then also journaled in my written journal, which I don't show. But I wanted to know, like, why was I having this urge or this feeling to purchase something? You know, and I kind of came down to after rereading and going over a lot of the stuff I wrote is, due to stress, a busy schedule, we had a death in the family. Chad's died this month. My father's not well. My brother's not well. So it's been a rough year for the Rush Willinghams. A lack of free time. Even this month of January and February, I've been so busy with concerts that I've only been able to go to Temple twice. And in February, I don't even have a chance to go because we have got concerts every weekend. Like, we've had a bunch of Harry Potter this week. It's a very busy month. I've got a concerto performance coming up, and it's a lot. So there's added stress, and so I felt the urge to buy things. Like, I haven't used my Chic Sparrows in a while, but I had an urge to buy a Chic Sparrow. And I was like, whoa, slow down. Yes, I know you have points earned, but slow down. Think about it. Don't make an impulse purchase. And I think one reason why I bought this is I bought the pocket and I bought the personal, and I was using them. But, I've also discovered I'm a completionist. And that could be why I bought this in this set, not just like the orange and the green or the yellow and the green or the blue. I bought the whole set. And it also could be another reason why I bought this, not just because of the class with Mindy, but I've got almost all of these now. So I'm a completionist, and I need to take note of that. So some things that I also wanted to buy is I wanted to buy the brown Traveler's Notebook that had the Starbucks Roastery collection on it. I don't need a Traveler's Notebook. I've got like 20 of these things. I've 2 Pan Ams. I've got the new Blue Standard. I've got the Blue Passport. I've got the second edition Camel Standard and Passport. I got the Ace edition Camel. I have 2 original brown Midoris. I have 2 original brown Midori Passports. I have the black Standard Midori, and they all say Midori. I've got the Narita Airport that says Midori. I have the black Passport from Narita Airport that says Midori. I even have one that says Traveler's Factory on it. I have 2 olives. I have Traveler's Notebooks. There's no reason for me to buy one just because it says Starbucks or Prada or To and From. It's the exact same thing that I have. So she's gotten into the catnip again, I think. I might have to pause and see what she's doing. Maybe not. So what I decided is they're opening a new traveler's company in Kyoto. And if they happen to have a special edition cover, then I'll purchase that one. And only if they have a special edition. If they don't, I don't need it. Something I will be doing probably towards the end of this month, beginning of next month, so like end of February, beginning of March, is I'm going to be having a huge planner de-stash. Like, I'm keeping all of my Midori Traveler's Notebooks. I'm keeping I only have like 4 or 5 Filofax. And like just 1 or 2 special ones. And the rest I'm going to be getting rid of. Now, I did get rid of a lot this summer. But it's just, I have so many, and there's no way I can possibly use them all. I mean, there at one time, I could use 1 Traveler's Notebook a day in a different size, and I could go almost a whole entire year with different notebooks. Maybe 2 weeks total where I'd have to double up on things. Thankfully, my collection isn't that big anymore. So expect that sometime soon. But as for the no spend, low spend, I have set myself some new rules. Number one, I'm allowing myself the $20 a month for Mindy Lacefield's Patreon. And the reason I'm doing that is she actually offers tutorials at the $20 level where you can actually, really, it depends on the video, anywhere between a 15 to a 30-minute video where, she actually teaches you how to use an acrylic or a gouache or a watercolor or Tombow markers as watercolor or watercolor pencils, things like that. Those are all supplies I have, and I'm loving her style because I've said before, it's helping me get out of my perfectionism, out of my art having to have perfect, smooth, clean lines. And it's helping break down a barrier that I feel I've put up. And then the other thing I'm doing is I'm allowing $5 a month. And that could be for like a new pen or whatever that $5 will buy. But if I don't use that $5, I can roll it over into the next month. So if the month of February I don't spend that $5, then in March I will have 10. If I don't use the 10 in March, in April I'll have 15, and so on. So that way it'll be a small number that I can maintain, because what can you get for $5 other than, maybe going to the pen spot at the Michael's Wall or another art store and getting that. So that way I use what I have and don't buy anything that I don't need. That's kind of where I'm at. It wasn't that much of a shopping month for me. As if you remember from last year, there were some months where I'd spent $300-400. So yeah, it's in the high range, but most of that was due to this. A little bit better. I'm taking note of my actions. First of all, not beating myself up for them, but just really, really trying to think through why I'm doing something and how I can, get to a place where I don't have that impulse of like, oh, I gotta go, I got $10, let's go buy something. And it's also making me go through my stash. I had some stickers from Mindy Lacefield that I had bought and some she had sent me. And then these are from Coco Daisy. So I'm actually using the stuff that I have. I'm not, running out and, spending money for something that I really don't need. So did you do a no spend, low spend? Did you, what have you been working on with your budget, with your planning, with your art? Leave a comment down below, and let's start a conversation so we can come up with some ideas that can help other people to really just make sure that when you're purchasing something, it's something that you want or that you have a need for, and the most important, that you will use. This I'm using. This I'm using. This I'm using. This right now I'm not using, but we'll see. These I'm using, and I canceled it, so there you go. So that's where we are this month. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.